Yo, 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 what is crack-a-lackin', everybody? Caveman Jack, back for another album reaction / review. And we are back live from the studio. Yo. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. It is about that time that we continue with Radiohead. We are up to Hail to the Thief. It was about a month ago, we checked out Amnesiac, which was the follow-up to Kid A, which was one of the most trippy, hard-to-grasp albums I think I've ever heard in my life. Usually, if I were to hear that music a couple of years ago, I probably would have turned it off completely. I wouldn't have even given it a go. But knowing how incredible this band is and the amazing albums that we've gone through so far, there was no way I was going to skip any of their albums. And Amnesiac had plenty of special moments that I continue to go back to, and they grow on me. It feels like a real grower of an album. It will continue to be a bit of an enigma to me, I believe. But in saying that, I'm very, very keen to continue through their discography, and we are up to Hail to the Thief. This album released in 2003. I'm not really sure what way their sound went after Kid A. Did they continue with that trippy sound? Did they go more to the alternative sound that was found on The Bends and OK Computer? Or did they find something else completely? Either way, I'm super pumped. It is always a pleasure to check out more Radiohead. The best part of enjoying these Radiohead albums is engaging with you guys, honestly. It's such a fun part when I do get up to reacting to a new Radiohead album. I'm filled with so much excitement. If you guys are interested in checking out any of the other Radiohead albums I've listened to so far, I've got a playlist which I will add a link to. Don't know which side it will be added to, but it'll be added to one of the sides, where I've listened to Pablo Honey, The Bends, OK Computer, Kid A, Amnesiac. So we've listened to 5 Radiohead albums so far, and we're up to the 6th. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Hail to the Thief by the incredible band Radiohead. We're back. We're back.
Such a dreamer to put the world to rights. Two always makes a 5.
Okay.
It's the devil's
that effect.
It is true. Because meditation.
It's always good to be here in New Radiohead, man. It's always good. Okay, we're back. That was 2 + 2 = 5. Now, obviously 2 + 2 does not equal 5, it equals 4. However, I'm trying to grasp what the song title and the idea of this song is. Is it almost like the lines, "You've not been paying attention"? Is that just kind of like has it got something to do with the song title? Like, because it's like, that's definitely not what equals 5, but we as a society, do we just accept certain things that are said to us or as we read it, or do we not question it? I don't know. I love, what is that song about? Well, from an instrument point of view, we get the guitar onslaught back. We get a little bit more electronic synths coming in this one. It was like a little bit of a blend of what we got on Kid A, and some intense kind of sounds like electioneering from OK Computer. So it was a hybrid of sounds, that one. It's got this kind of like this weird electronic drum beats to start both the songs so far. It's like a drum machine. Oh, God, they're just so good, aren't they? Oh. It's such a warm sound. It's so eerie, though. It's just...
Sit down, stand up.
I love when he just does like the long-winded... the long-winded lines. How is that? Dark, man. I love it. It's just building this song. Gradual adding of instruments. You always provide the goods. Yeah. What's that bass? Now that is Radiohead, guys. So far, the Radiohead songs I've enjoyed the most, generally the ones that are slower or at least have a patch of the song which is quite slow, and I like how they build. Radiohead are phenomenal at building and gradually creating this amazing climax on their songs. This song seems to be one of those ones that I'll add to the list of songs that just have an incredible way of building piece by piece till you get this satisfying finish that just plays itself out at the end. I'm liking this. I'm liking this hybrid. We're getting the guitar onslaught, Tom's long-winded lines, but on top of that, we're getting the Kid A and the electronic sounds that they developed from that era of their discography. So it's getting this nice hybrid of the two. I've read a bunch of people saying that this is their favorite Radiohead album. That's what's so good about this band. Each of their albums has a huge pool of fans that believe it's their best work or their favorite album at least. So I get to see it from different people's angles. I get to see from different people's perspectives. That song there, that was a hit. Sit Down, Stand Up, loved it. Sail to the Moon. Oh, we don't hear enough of this organic piano in Radiohead songs, so I'm very excited now. It's a bit lo-fi too, like ballad lo-fi. Yes, Radiohead. Oh gosh, man. They just have so many incredibly moving songs just through the instrumentation. You already get locked in.
I sucked the moon. I spoke too soon. How much did it cost?
subtle. Oh, how's this beat switch? That's so good. That guitar is so good. I kind of had a moment when the guitars, well, another great piece of guitars came into the song. I had a bit of a moment. It was like this sense of reflection. Finding this band and finally listening to this band for the first time this year has been one of the best parts of 2022, hands down. It has been one of the greatest musical endeavors that I've ever gone on. This heavier piano ballad piece where the long-winded lines just evolved into each other, and it just felt like this piece where you were just floating. It never felt entirely safe and light, but it never felt completely dark and isolated neither. It was this real hybrid. It's almost like a tightrope of light and dark. That whole song, beautiful. Oh, we've got some real Kid A Amnesiac vibes here. I'm just waiting for these, just some random. So good. So good. Just the patience of the instruments and when they come in and out of the song is really balanced. No shame. They are too good, man. This is just beautiful. So far, each song has felt like its own sound. They've felt quite distinct and unique, which is really cool. This one was like electronic beats and drum machines like just overlapping each other. It's like he's got 10, it's like the band just grabbed 10 drum machines or 10 drum patterns and was just like, all right, let's cut them in and out, just over each other. Let's just see how it sounds. Little bridge there, beautiful. I loved how that was. I liked how it does that extended outro where it's just the beat. And it's so sporadic, so unpredictable that the sounds coming in and out, you're never really on top of how the song is going to end. This has got a very classic Radiohead guitar right here.
Something for the ragabone man over my dead body. I'm gonna go to sleep and let this wash over me.
Sound that Tom's gone on these kind of singing here. I don't think I've heard it before. Come to you as you say. to Sleep was much more rockier in sound. I think that was the most rock I've probably heard on this album so far. Wasn't a huge fan of it. It wasn't like I'd listen to it again, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't something I was instantly like, whoa, like, you know, falling through. It was a nice song. We got a lot of guitars on that one. The mix was quite full. I think at some points it was a bit loud. Maybe I just need to turn my headphones down. But there was a lot going on, so I was struggling to find a middle ground on what to focus on. But there was points that the drums sounded really good. The guitars did sound really good. Some of the ad-libs sounded really nice. But yeah, so far, that was probably my least favorite on the album so far. Where I End and You Begin. Oh, a nice song title. Oh. This feels very 80s Halloween. Cool song. Fell into that one. More eerie, psychedelic sounding vocal performance by Tom. There was some nice drawn out synths throughout. There was some incredible vocal effects, like that really high pitched, whiny kind of scream almost that harmonized with his voice was lovely. And then the back end of the song, you just fall into like the I will eat you alive, I will eat you alive. And then all this stuff's happening around you. And everything's moving. The tracks are moving from side to side and you can't help but fall into it. Dark. This one sounds very dark.
Are you hungry?
Oh.
Are you sick?
That clap is cool. The breathing in the back, it's really subtle, but you can hear it. It's quite menacing. Or it could just be cymbals, but it sounds like breathing. That's the harmonies, man. feel the emotion, that just intensity. You could almost hear the breaking of Tom's voice towards those last couple of lines, the harmonies. It wasn't my favorite song, but I have to say just how captivating and storytelling that song was. It felt very dark, very vampire, but it felt very dark, very castle, gothic. It's hard to find the words to capture that song. And then we had this wild breakdown mid-song that caught me so off guard. I don't really know why it caught me off guard. This is Radiohead. They do stuff like this on the regular. Little things that happen in that song, and I imagine every time I go back to it, I'd find another concept or another sound that I didn't really grasp the first time I heard it. It's wild when you get so much quality from a band that you almost get less and less surprised by these incredible songs. And it's like, wow, like that just shows how high level this band's music is. Again, another abstract, unique beginning to a song, which we've gotten a fair bit on this album. It's where I feel like the Kid A, Amnesiac vibes come in to play. And it's from here that the band can take any direction. Here it seems we're going for more that electronic route. That sounds like it's reversed. Seemingly a more experimental track, we dived into some more electronic sounds. We had these drum beats, these highly 8-bit computer sounding beats that played and overlapped each other. Everything almost kind of felt reversed or like sucked into this kind of vacuum. This whole song was very interesting. The outro and that beat that came in was, that long-winded, like, you could just feel the bass. The bass that came in towards the end of the track was that was hard-hitting as well. That was one that may grow on you. It wasn't a song that automatically I was, like, connected to, but like a couple of tracks that haven't connected me straight away, I'm quite intrigued by them because they do sound quite unsettling, sound different, sound intriguing. And it kind of just ticks a curious mind. And you're like, I wonder what that sound is. And I wonder what sounds I will hear on further listens. And I hear that interesting sounding tom. Normally that sound from Radiohead I don't really fall into as much, but I guess something about the lyrics, something about something on your shoulder, like sirens that are attracting you to the shipwreck. I don't know. It's like warning signs. The guitars sounded quite rocky, alternative rock sounding. Not usually my type of sound. But in that case, I really enjoyed it. Quite a raw, stripped back song. Seemingly only got guitar, and really focused in on the vocal performance. That song was quite isolated, and Tom was kind of put on a pedestal to sing and carry that song there. And you had his normal range and then this high pitch range that was very broken, felt very raw, and you could feel that it was imperfect, the high register that was layered over the top. And I thought that was good. It helped add this level of imperfection to this song. A Punch Up at a Wedding, what a song title. And what a interesting beat to start a song with that song title. Oh, it's good. Oh, we building. Oh, we like this. Hey, give me that. Okay.
I don't know why you bother.
Quite a gradual build, it's nice.
You had to piss on a parade. You had to shred up a day.
It's got a nice jazzy feel to it, like a...
The pot will call the kettle black. It's a drunken punch up at a wedding, yeah.
It's not doing too much to explode this song. It's keeping consistent, it's keeping balance. It's awesome to hear how this band has evolved. And this album proves it. Punch Up at a Wedding. Now this song, it seems like one you can just put on in the background, let it play out. I don't think it's one that you need to entirely focus on throughout the whole song to grasp and enjoy it. It doesn't seem to stem too far from where it's grounded, and it stays grounded for most of the song. I think for the whole song, really, we get some slight increases in extremities throughout it, but it remains balanced. It doesn't have any blow your mind Radiohead moments, but it's a nice quality song on a quality album. Myxomatosis. So it's either myxomatosis or myomatosis or 100 different other things. And I'm completely wrong on both of them. But, oh well, let's listen to insert song name. Oh my gosh. This one's got a lot more extremities to it, a little bit more louder, a little bit more intense. Coming from the previous song, it's quite jarring. It's like a slap to the face. I like the way he's flowing on this.
Proceeded to shut up
And that snare's really snappy.
to all his newfound friends. He said, I've been where
Oh, that synth line's great.
I don't know
It's got a bit of Tame Impala about it, this synth. It's good. Oh, how's those drum riffs? Here we go. Synths in the back. Myxomatosis. Oh, this is a great song. This is a great song. Myxomatosis. Myxomatosis is a hit. This might be the one. This might be my favourite song on this album. This is great. Synth heads eat your heart out. Myxomatosis. Bang. Favourite song on the album. Just hit me. As soon as that synth line came in, tough, and it remained prevalent throughout that whole song. I love the way Tom flowed over the instrumental. That whole song just really felt like Tame Impala. Kevin Parker, I reckon, likes that song because it does feel like there's that real synth-heavy feeling to it. I like how it gradually built. I like how there was little drum ad-libs that were added to the synth. It just felt really complete. It didn't go too far away from its core like the song before it, but this one was much more, the core was a lot more extreme. So it was a much more higher intensity song. And it's funny when you go from the song before it into Myxomatosis. It's so, they're very different, it feels like, in terms of tempo. Computer guitar. That was just a good Radiohead song. Like, Radiohead just have incredible Radiohead songs, and most of the other ones are good. Like they're all really solid. You know, like I can't really fault that song. Like a couple of songs on this album, it doesn't have the extreme jump out of your seat moment, but you get so accustomed to quality with this band, and like the guitar throughout that whole thing was beautiful. Like it just had this real airy feel to it. Very spacey, very psychedelic. Maybe I won't be Scatterbrain. I don't want to be Scatterbrain no more. I like that. A quick note, what does the album cover reference? I was listening to it, Scatterbrain, and I was like, oh, like there's all these different signs that say different things. Is that a reference to Scatterbrain, like having so many different things that we're focusing on that we're missing the bigger picture sometimes? We're always focusing on so many different things rather than some of the core things that actually mean something to us. I'm not sure. What does this album refer to? What kind of overall theme do we dive into on this album? We are up to the final track on Hail to the Thief, A Wolf at the Door. That does sound like an awesome song title. I've had a lot of fun with this one, much like I do every time I check out another album by them. So let's finish off this album, Hail to the Thief, with Wolf at the Door. It's just so good. Just so good. Oh, that beat is just so perfectly timed.
Drag him out, you window, dragging out the dead, singing a mess. You snakes and ladders flip the lid. Up pops the face you don't recognize. Help me call the doctor.
Just something different, you know, refreshing. Continually refresh themselves, this band.
I keep the world from the door. Calls me on the phone, tells me all the ways that he's gonna mess me up. Steal all my children if I don't pay the ransom. I'll never see him again if I squeal to the cops.
Oh my gosh, guys, that instrumentation in that last little bit of that chorus, beautiful. The guitar coming in. Shit, man, I tell you, there's so many beautiful sounds these guys chuck in their music.
Walking like giant cranes, I'm with my extra eyes, I stretch it together. Tight little world, money on the list. Step for wives who are weak, take a plane. Steal all my children if I don't pay the ransom. I'll never see them again if I squeal to
That guitar there.
so I just go.
This band, man. This band. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Hail to the Thief. Great album. So consistently good. Jeepers. A little bit of something for everyone on this album, I reckon. If you were a huge fan of the rockier sounds that appeared on the Bends, then you're going to find something on this album. If you were much more inclined with the okay computer sounding guitars and progression, you're going to find something on this album. And if you were a huge fan of their jump into the more electronic sound with Kid A and Amnesiac, you will also be looked after on this album. Though the combination of what they've learned on each of their projects eventualize into this album. There's varying experimental sections which I believe land. I don't really think there was any point where I felt like this does not land. I don't really think there's a bad song on this album. There are probably songs that are better than others, but I definitely think this album is high quality. It's very well done. Would some people say that some of the points on it may be a little bit more generic and safe? Perhaps. But sometimes, I mean, going from Amnesiac, one of the most unsafe, jarring projects that I imagine this band did make, God, it just makes me so excited for In Rainbows, because I can just imagine they've now gone from this album where they've taken what they learnt from Kid A, Amnesiac era, everything before it, and they've made this album. And they go, okay, how can we make this sound more refined, more better? And I feel like In Rainbows will be an extension of this sound into this really consistently phenomenal project that goes through heaps of different levels. I think I'm just guessing here, so I don't really know for sure, but it just makes me very, very excited to see where the band then goes from here. And I think this sound will always be special and it will always hit people, because I hadn't personally heard music like this. And of course, I haven't dived into the alternative sound as much and the rock sound and electronic sound as much. But for me, at least, this sound has hit me completely. This band has hit me and wrapped me throughout each of their albums so far. Yeah, I probably won't go through each of the songs, but I will give a special mention to Myxomatosis. That song really, really captivated me. I'm a huge synth head, so when I hear those darker synths playing throughout, it gave me that Tame Impala feeling. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Parker's work, so hearing these little influences, I could feel bands. I listened to this project, and throughout it, I heard a little bit of Coldplay. I heard Tame Impala, and it's like you realize that this band has had such an influence. Most of these songs kept me on my toes. I didn't really know where each sound was going to next, and that's awesome. It felt refreshing. To me, it did not feel safe. It felt like a natural progression for this band, and I actually really thoroughly enjoyed this project. Hail to the Thief. After Amnesiac, which threw me in a lot of directions, some great, some unappealing sounds that I really didn't enjoy. So to hear this project now, it was nice. It was nice to fall back into this sound. I'm a hip hop head, but the last year, so 2022, I checked out a bunch of different sounds that were unfamiliar to me as a way of exploring and finding new sounds. And I mean, that's how I found this band. So it's been awesome. So if you guys want to check out different sounds that you're unfamiliar with, feel free to check out the channel, because I've got a bunch of different genres that may have be interest to you, and some albums that you might be like, oh, I've never heard that. Maybe check out the vid, see what you think. Because there's been a couple times I've checked out some albums that I was like, I don't know about this, and they've surprised me. If you're a returning viewer, especially if you're a returning Radiohead viewer, you guys have been awesome on this channel and this journey and this ride. So I always appreciate you guys returning for these videos. I do get really excited releasing these Radiohead ones. Take care, and I will see y'all in the next video. Cheers.